Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to be talking about Ubisoft doing something pretty funny on Twitter, and hopefully it doing well for them in a sense at least. We're going to be on PC Gamer today. This is by Harvey Radful. Thank you for the article. If you'd like to check it out for yourself, it'll be linked down in the description. The title goes, Ubisoft scores a legendary ratio against Elon Musk on his own platform, which hopefully marks a final end to all the Assassin's Creed Shadows culture war nonsense. I don't know about nonsense. There is some things about Assassin's Creed Shadows that is weird. Now, a lot of it is overblown, and I feel like the majority of people don't actually care, because the majority of people don't care about Assassin's Creed anymore, which is like the bigger point. And I feel like the problem with Assassin's Creed Shadows is that it's not a different game. It's still Assassin's Creed, and it hasn't changed in forever, basically since they revamped the series in like 2016 or something like that. So like it's still the same game, and there's not anything different. I am glad though that the social media guys at Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed are still being able to take some shots and still have liberty to do stuff. Just before we get into the article, I'd like to remind everyone, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and once we do, I'll be doing a Q&A video, so if you're interested in that, please subscribe. Also, if you'd like to check out a podcast I do called Two Buzz One Podcast, check it out in the description down below. Assassin's Creed Shadows has landed some solid success on online storefronts and overall decent critical response. PC Gamer own Morgan Park gave it an 80 in his review, which is not too shabby. It's true. From what I can tell, Assassin's Creed Shadows is a pretty good game. The problem is that if you haven't enjoyed the style of Assassin's Creed games, this game isn't going to change that. It's not doing anything different. To celebrate, Ubisoft has gone from avoiding trending on eggshells to getting its biggest, chunkiest eggshell stomping boot and marauding through an eggshell field while laughing uproariously, scoring one of the biggest ratios I think I've ever seen on social media. For context, Ubisoft has found itself in an unavailable position of being caught in the midst of an ongoing culture war over whether video games are woke or not, or not woke. Generally speaking, meaning anything with the wrong shape of woman, or a pronoun selection screen, or a black person, or a consulting company present during its development. That is to say, it's a word that's lost most of its meaning. Yeah, I would say so. I think the whole woke or not woke thing has gone way over proportion, and I just feel like people who think video games have gone woke just don't know a lot of video games, because the whole male power fantasy still exists in so many games. And like, if your whole thing is like, oh, we don't want different representation, there's plenty of games that are still having the male protagonist. There's still lots of games that do that. And honestly, I'm just surprised that some people aren't like tired of that. I personally am just I'm tired of like blank slate characters. I want some interesting characters nowadays, and if that means female characters or characters of different cultures, I'm totally down for that. It's not like it's still not a power fantasy with most of these games. And the other wokeness of like different types of people, I mean, like that was just gonna happen because there are different types of people. More people make video games. While it is still a very white male dominated industry, it's not as dominated as before. Instead of 90%, it's like 80%. So eventually those people are going to be able to make decisions to make different types of games. And I mean, Ubisoft isn't even that much of a woke company. I mean, like, I guess because it's a woman ninja in Assassin's Creed Shadows and the Black Samurai, but he existed. These characters existed. Like, they're not being woke. They're not making up new characters. They literally were people from history. So like, it's weird. Like, I feel like the whole woke thing, the problem I have with the woke culture stuff is that they fight the wrong battles. I can understand if like there are some times where I do feel they are very pushy. I feel like they're in some certain games, and honestly, I don't even see it that much. And sometimes it does feel a little being pushed to the front of like diversity and stuff like that, but like honestly, like I say that and I'm like, not really. I mean, like, yeah, not all main characters are males and white. Big whoop. Like, I don't even think that's big of a deal, honestly. And if that's your definition of being woke, then holy cow, man. Then like, I feel like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, other people exist, and I'm sorry, I guess, but you know, that's a whole different, I don't know, maybe it's not a whole different thing, but we'll see. This time they were bristling over the inclusion of a historical black samurai Yasuke. Never mind that the over-the-top historical fiction in this series thing. Leonardo da Vinci, you'd be surprised to find out, never built a working tank. true, nor the fact that Yusukai, a character inspired by him, have both popped up recently in Japanese anime and video games. My favorite by far is Guilty Gear Strive, where his XP is a big vampire man with a skull mask and banging theme song. I think I've actually heard of that, and it's actually pretty good. Yeah, I think that this is the problem I have with like the whole woke versus the whole against woke culture, is that they fight the wrong battles. Like Assassin's Creed has never been super historically accurate, and they it's more inspired by history than a representation of history. And as long as the company says that, I think it's fine, you know? And there are some things that are like you don't really want to show that are historically accurate, you know? Because humans suck, and our history is filled with terrible people and terrible things and humans treating humans terribly. And you don't necessarily want to put a big spotlight on that for a lot of, especially big companies like Ubisoft. I can understand the indie game trying to go into deeper themes like that, but big companies like Ubisoft, I doubt it. You know, that's way too much of a risk. And if being woke means having a black main character and a woman main character, like, I think these people need to, I don't know, they need to do some self-reflection or something like that, because that is not the hill you should die on. Ubisoft's initial response to this was to try and meet these naysayers halfway. It held up its hands and stated that Yasuke's position in history was a matter of debate and discussion. Later, Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot would also try to reassure folks that the studio wasn't trying to push any specific agenda. I mean, yeah, these people existed, and I don't even know what agenda you'd be pushing. It wouldn't be until November that the tone would change, when franchise head Mark Alexis Cote stating, "We all, however, face the added challenge of distinguishing between genuine feedback and attacks driven by intolerance." Yeah, it's true. There is a fine line when it comes to that. Like, for me personally, I'm not going to be playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, but it's not because of the characters. It's just because I haven't enjoyed the Assassin's Creed games, because they've basically just become world map icon simulator, and Ubisoft games in general haven't really changed since like Far Cry 3. And once they do, I'll totally be down to play a Ubisoft game. That and Ubisoft Connect, I hate it so much. So like, I have no problems with them doing these types of characters. I've heard the writing isn't very good, but that's a separate issue as well. But like, I feel like these characters are totally fine to exist. The current climate is tough on our creative team. They face lies, half-truths, and personal attacks online. Yeah, people take it way too far. Now that the game is out, though, Ubisoft's gone from stoic but firm rebuttals to publicly clowning on tech billionaires Elon Musk, owner of the platform this happened on, and self-admitting supporter of Path of Exile 2, account trading industry. Oh yeah, that he did do that. Has been particularly vocal about Assassin's Creed Shadows, writing in June last year that DEI kills art. Yeah, and DEI, I'm pretty sure, is the diversity thing, if I remember correctly. And I would just completely disagree with that statement. The problem is I don't know what DEI is specifically. Let me just check this out. Okay, it means diversity, equality, and inclusion. And I don't know why that would kill art, because having more points of view is the whole point of art. Like, the point of art is to have as many possible points of view as possible. So you need diversity, at least diversity, and inclusion. Like, equality in art is, I don't know what equality in art even means, because like everyone can make art already, I guess. Maybe I'm thinking of this too much in a happy-go-lucky thought process, because I mean, I guess it depends what you mean by equality, but having more perspectives in art is the point of art, at least when I look at it. So I don't know how that would kill art. He's been particularly vocal in the following X thread too. Coming after a streamer who'd done a paid promotion for the game, Hasan is a fraud. Musk writes, producing his blade and leveling it at his enemy, sellout, would be more accurate. Objectively, he is promoting a terrible game just for the money. The official Assassin's Creed account, liberating its own steel free from the prison of its sheath, retorts, "Is that what the guy playing your Path of Exile 2 account told you?" That's funny. That's really funny. Also, I just want to say, Assassin's Creed Shadows is not a terrible game. It's a fine game. It's a good game. It's an alright game. It's not a terrible game, though. You can have different opinions on what is a good game or a bad game, but Assassin's Creed does exactly what it's trying to do. And if that's not what you're into, that doesn't mean it's a bad game. That's just mean it's not a game for you. Not every game is meant for you. That is a really good retort, though. Really good retort. Especially against Elon. Both stand at the ready. The setting seed bleeds red into the sky, bearing witness to their duel. Reeds sway in the breeze. Elon Musk and Assassin's Creed Shadows X account flash towards each other. There's a blinding shock of light as they stagger from the momentum. Elon Musk's post accrued 23,000 likes, a superficial blow, In true samurai movie fashion, he looks down to see the effort of his opponent's strike, and as over the next 14 hours, the Assassin's Creed Shadows account rakes up upwards of 440,000 likes, the nonchalantly sheathing its katana with a satisfying click. Yeah, 21 million views as well. I think the one side thing about this is that there is a lot of Elon Musk hate on Twitter, I feel like, especially in the gaming industry, and dunking on Elon in this scenario I think is pretty easy. Maybe it's just because of the algorithm for me, but I don't know a lot of people on Twitter that like Elon, so who knows about that. That could just be my For You page, to be fair. Put that in perspective, the Stade de France, which hosted the 2024 Olympics, has a seating capacity of 80,000 people. The likes on the account reply could fill that stadium 5.5 times. Yep. I mean, to be fair, going to a stadium for the Olympics and clicking a like button, very different. The likes on Elon's post wouldn't even book half the seats. 440,000 is a comparable amount also to EA's legendary flubbed Reddit comment, a sense of pride and accomplishment, which tanked over 600,000 downvotes circa 2017. Right. The account would then later double down, quoting its own post with the following: where other men blindly follow the truth, remember nothing is true. A maximum of the series titler Assassin's Creed. Even some of the quotes cheering Musk on are taking his lunch money. 44 billion to get cooked on your own website. Writes one spectator, to the tune of 190,000 likes and around 2.3 Stade de France. That is really funny. That's a great response. And he is not just, I don't like Hasan personally, but he isn't objectively promoting a terrible game just for the money. He could like the game, and Assassin's Creed isn't really a terrible game. Being a sellout, doing paid promotion doesn't make you a sellout. I don't like the fact that all these people, anyone, think paid promotion means you're a sellout automatically. Like, Elon does so much paid promotion all the time for all of his companies. Does that mean every single person that he ever does ads for or hires for ads, does that make them sellouts? Does that mean that we should never trust anything Elon says? I mean, he does his own ads. Like, that makes zero sense for someone like him to complain about advertising or paid promotion, stuff like that. I mean, as long as it's upfront about it that it is a paid promotion. While I am quietly and respectfully amused by this development, I think the fact that Ubisoft appears to have stopped giving a crap is the takeaway here. That's true. They really should. Though it's pretty significant that over 440,000 people are so fed up with this outrage tourism too. The game's out, and Morgan said in his review, "It shadows fun. I'm so glad that one is the easy answer. Yes. Nobody, the least of all Ubisoft shareholders, having to wring their hands anymore. As a matter of fact, the gloves seem off entirely." Now, I am glad that a lot of people are enjoying Assassin's Creed, and honestly, I mean, like I said, I'm not the audience for this game, but the people who are going to enjoy this game are going to enjoy this game. I'm glad that Assassin's Creed is good, because while I do a lot of negative things and I talk down on Ubisoft, I think their IPs are still worth doing. It's just, they've just had so many blunders in so many ways, and I just want Ubisoft to just remember that they can make very good video games. And having Assassin's Creed Shadows be a good video game is a great step forward. Now we just need another Far Cry game to be good, but I would like them to start trying to change it up in some way, because these games are really becoming cookie cutter, and that's, I think, the problem, because they're in the problem of they can't change these games too much, because there's a big audience for these styles of games, but that doesn't mean you can't make different versions of Assassin's Creed. You know, you can keep the mainline series like how it is, but make spin-offs of Assassin's Creed. And to be fair, I think that's what they're doing. If I remember correctly, there are multiple Assassin's Creed games in the works right now, like currently in development. So I hope they do that, and I hope they also do the same thing with like the Far Cry series, and we'll just have to keep going and see how they do it, because I do fear for the fact that sometimes it feels like they have just like the tweet, they've doubled down on Assassin's Creed, and I'm glad that this game is doing well, because I still want Ubisoft to exist. I still think their games are good and there's a place for them. I just want them to evolve the formula a little bit and stop using Ubisoft Connect, please, for the love of God. Thank you everyone for watching today's video. Comment down below what you guys think about this whole kerfuffle on Twitter and stuff like that, and if you are going to be playing Assassin's Creed Shadows or not. Subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it if you do. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Once we do, we'll be doing a Q&A video, and if you like to see that, please subscribe. I do a podcast called Two Buds of One Podcast, so please come over and check that out as well with my friend Alchem Games. If you'd like to check me out on other platforms, I have a Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, as well as a Threads. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Goodbye everyone.